If you're out there gobbling up PSA graded cards, stop for a second. We have got to talk. I have a couple big reasons why I believe that could be a really bad idea during this time. And by the end of this video, you'll at least have some insight as to whether this fits your investment strategy or not. Welcome back. Now let's get to work. So let's go over a couple basic truths that we all know. Number one, the sports card industry is booming and millions of dollars are now flooding the hobby, which is making a $2 card go up to $8, an $8 card go to 20, a $20 card go to 40. Everything is seeing an increase, especially in players that we know already, that we like, and we believe will have a bright future. Now, with that being said, a lot of people are making great money. I'm making some really good flips. I've made like at least $1,500 or almost $2,000 on raw card flips for the most part. A couple graded cards, but mostly raw. And what happens is when I make money and when others make money, we tell our friends. And our friends go, wow, I've been stuck here at home and I'm bored and I lost work. And you're telling me you're making money in cards and you bought a card for $5 2 weeks ago and it sold for $15 today? Well, I want some of that. And then they go through their parents' house, they look up in the attic and they dig out their old baseball cards from the 80s and 90s, and they actually go online and see a couple of them are worth some real money. They're worth $10 or 20 or 30, and they get really excited. Now, you might think, oh, this is hypothetical, this would never happen. It's actually happened to me and my best friend, where I dragged my best friend Andy down in Tampa into sports cards because I'm telling him how much fun I'm having and I'm making some money, and then he used to do this as a kid as well. So the chain effect continues, especially when people are making money. Now, the more cards that are being dug up, the more $2 cards that are going to 10 and $10 cards going to 20, the more cards we want to submit for grading. Because when I was a kid, grading wasn't a thing, and it was only a thing if a card is worth a good amount. If it's a $50 card, if it's a $100 card, well, then you get it graded. But now, even a base Kobe Bryant card that I'm buying for $4 off of Beckett is selling for $15 on CompC and maybe $20 on eBay. And then, people are thinking, well, I gotta grade that card, because if it's $20 for a raw card, then it's probably $35 for a PSA 9 and maybe $45 or $50 for a PSA 10. So the point I'm trying to make is a lot of cards are now going to be graded because the threshold at which we grade cards has now been reached, right? Your threshold for grading a card might be, it needs to be at least worth $15 or $20, right? Maybe that's yours. For me, I'm thinking, yeah, a $15 card, I'd probably get graded, but almost every card is going to $15. I mean, like, I bought an Anthony Davis rookie card for $6 about 6 weeks ago. It was a Panini Brilliance Anthony Davis rookie card, $6. Yesterday, it sold for $30. I never even thought of grading that card before because whatever, $6, why would I pay $10 to grade it? But when it sells for $30, that person on the other end is thinking, I'm definitely getting this graded if it looks really good. So the point I'm trying to make is a lot of cards are going to be sent in for grading, which will mean population reports are going to go through the roof. Any card that was not already established as a good card to grade in the past, like a LeBron James rookie or one of those, will be submitted if it's in great shape. So that's why I'm also buying up raw cards, because the upside potential is there, while I know the population reports for PSA and the others will only go up. So just keep in mind that if you're looking at a card that says low pop report, if the print run is high, just know that if that card's gone up in value, there's probably a handful of those cards at PSA that are going to be coming back in the next few months, and another big chunk that's going to go to PSA or the others and come back in 6 to 8 months. Now, we already know that PSA has been shut down since March 20th due to the coronavirus, but the other brands, the other companies, SGC and BGS, have remained open. So that tells a lot of investors, hey, if you want to get your cards back, I know PSA might be your first choice, but you might want to just send it to us because we can get this done at least on schedule, while PSA just has to sit there and wait for shipments to pile up higher and higher and higher. And they were already backlogged from the boom of the sports card hobby from before the lockdown. And the lockdown and the virus has just accentuated how behind they are. So in 6 to 8 months, when a lot of these cards come back and investors have to choose which company to go to, there may be a shift of power where people go, you know what, I can't wait 6 months, 8 months to get my cards back from PSA because they're just so far behind. I'm gonna go with SGC, I'm gonna go with BGS, or there's just a balance where all of a sudden there's an even amount coming back. So in our minds, it might go, you know what, before I would only buy PSA graded cards, but now I'm open to SGC, I'm open to BGS because they have taken over. So many of their cards have come back and have flooded the market that I have to be open to them if I want to buy this card. So that means that PSA would lose a bit of that prestige and power, and SGC and BGS would maintain, or would go up, and maybe it turns into an even playing field. So if you're buying PSA graded cards now, you may be paying a premium for that name, which could go down, as well as population reports, which could go through the roof in 6 to 8 months. So with so much inflation going on in the sports card hobby, with this potential shift of power in the grading side, with such a big backlog of thousands and thousands of cards at PSA that will be hitting the market in the next few months. Plus, with 30 million people losing their jobs and industries shutting down and other industries flourishing, there is going to be a lot of change coming up after all the loans and the stimulus checks dry up. And that might not be for another 8 to 10 months from now. That's when I'll go heavier into graded cards, and I'll just feel more confident because there will be a level of stability. For now, you know, I'm buying my low-end Brady, Kobe Bryant, the legends low-end raw. That is what I feel good in because I don't feel like they can go down. Low-end rookie cards of some of the great basketball players that I'm seeing, but I'm just a bit too nervous. And as Warren Buffett says, be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. And I feel like there's a lot of greed going on in the sports card market, so I'm a bit fearful. Let me know what your thoughts are. Does this make sense? Agree, disagree? I probably missed a couple things. Let me know in the comment section below. Pound that like for good karma during your next grading submission, and I'll see you in the next video.